Every day we're deluged by a flood of data. The struggle to stay focused only seems to grow. Best-selling author Daniel Levitin's new book shows us how to take charge of our brains. It is called The Organized Mind, Thinking Straight in the Age of Information Overload. He's a professor of neuroscience at McGill University. Doctor, good morning to you.
Morning, Jeff.
Multitasking is a myth. Why?
It's a myth, it's an illusion, and as a neuroscientist, I can tell you the brain is very good at self-deception, so we don't realize it. But instead of actually doing a number of things at once, what we're doing is sequential tasking, one thing after another. We fractionate our attention, and we're not able to really put attention into any one thing. That can lead to the production of the stress hormone cortisol, and in the end, you're not saving time, you're wasting time.
Yeah, so you say instead of multitasking, we should be doing what?
We should be focusing our attention on one thing at a time and sustaining that. Turn off your email when you're not using it. Try and stay focused and avoid distraction in order to be more productive.
I have to admit, I am one of the most disorganized people. So what I love about the book is that in it, you basically tell us there's not mental tricks or brain exercises. You talk a lot about actually physically changing your surroundings. What should we do if we find ourselves disorganized?
Well, the idea is to get things out of your head and into the external world, externalizing your memory, brain extenders. So if you're always losing your keys, this may sound obvious, but you put a little hook by the door or a dish by the front door where the keys always go. If they're always in there, then you never have to lose them. And there are a number of other things we can do. Writing things down. Get it out of your head. If you write it down, you're less likely to forget it.
I love that you also say use apps on your phone. You use these things to almost create for yourself a personal scheduler.
Right. You can set little reminders for yourself. Pay this tax bill, or remember to go to the doctor, or check up on those lab reports.
One of the most important things you say, too, is daydreaming is important, vacation and naps. And Charlie loves your piece in the New York Times because he's a big proponent of even a short nap, a 10-minute nap, can restore a lot, right?
That's right. So we've got two different modes of attention. There's the task positive network, it's called, which is where we're engaged and focused on a task. And that alternates with a kind of daydreaming mode. The daydreaming mode is when you're most apt to come up with creative solutions to problems. In this over-caffeinated world, if we stay on task all the time and don't give ourselves breaks, we lose the opportunity to be creative and really fix those problems.
And I thought one of the most fascinating things that you did in this book is that you interviewed a number of highly successful people. You call them HSPs. What are their secrets to their success about the organized mind, as your book calls it?
Well, one of the things is that they don't waste more time on a decision than it's worth. Another is they follow David Allen's 2-minute rule. He's the efficiency expert. If you can get something done in 2 minutes or less, do it right now so all the little things don't pile up.
Men and women are different, though, when it comes to organization and clutter, especially, you talk about here. In what ways?
A woman typically can walk into a room and see clothes piled on the floor. Her stress cortisol hormones are going to spike.
No, I never
Not
see
so
that
much
at
with
all.
a man, no.
You've never witnessed that at home?
It's totally common.
You know, we were talking about multitasking. I can only think of two jobs that require multitasking. One is an air traffic controller, and the other is a broadcast journalist. You've got to be doing a whole bunch of things at a time.
I mean, everybody is different, though, right? So we should manage those minds depending on how our brain works when it comes to organization, or no? Or these tips help everyone?
I think they're for everybody, and we can all take a tip from the air traffic controllers. You know, they're required after an hour of work to take a 15 to 30-minute break. And if you're multitasking, that's essential. To get into the daydreaming mode, you can hit the reset button in your brain.
So we can go on from 7 to 8:30, but then we have to stop from 8:30 to 8:45.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
That would be
Take a little nap, check out for a while.
But you're also saying with checking out emails, it's important to sometimes just unplug yourself completely, especially on a vacation, which so many of us just don't do.
Yeah, and what you can do is set up a special email account and only give the address to those who need to reach you urgently. Leave that one on during vacation, but set up a message response on the other one. Sorry, this is my vacation time.
And you've got a whole chapter, too, about what to teach our kids in terms of having an organized mind.
You know, now that information is so easy to acquire, I think the mission in teaching our children has to be to teach them to become critical thinkers.
By the way, I think we almost missed kind of one of the main points of your book, which is that an organized mind leads to longevity, right? At the end of the day, it leads to a longer, happier life to do these things.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Nora. So that is the point. And when I'm talking about being organized, I'm not talking about making us all automatons like Mr. Spock. I'm talking about being able to keep your workday productive and efficient so that at the end of the day you can close the door on it and have more time for spontaneity, time with family and loved ones, and creativity.
Thank you.